The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Panel Swim Shop, PRAS, PrepSpin.com, Raising Cane's, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
Hello, welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with Ryan Wilson of Woodford County. Great to have you on the show, Coach.
Well, we appreciate you having you, Gary.
You're 12-3, Coach. Off to a great start this year.
Well, we're excited. We're out there working hard. Got a great group of young men. We're excited about what we're doing. Really trying to change the culture at Woodford County.
Right.
I think there's kind of a mindset that Woodford's not a basketball, football school, and so we're just out here trying to change that mentality.
Well, you're doing it with a 12-3 record, so congratulations for
Thank
that. Also, our scholar athletes are from Lafayette Wrestling. We're going to talk to them, and we got a feature on Michaela Cecil of Paul Lawrence Dunbar. That's a great feature on her. And we've got also a Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week, and Jenny Williams is here from UK. We never know what she's going to talk about, but I think we're going to talk about stretching. It's important to stretch, isn't it, Coach?
It is. We emphasize that a lot with our guys. We sometimes have to teach how to stretch,
right.
But it helps. It keeps our guys safe and injury-free.
Well, you know what we got? We got the best highlights in the state of Kentucky. These highlights brought to you by Game Time and PrepSpin.com, the leading digital network in the state of Kentucky.
High school hoops tonight. Bryan Station hosting Henry Clay. Miles Moronis, the kick out, and he buries a three. That gives Station the lead. Henry Clay with the answer on the other end. Harris Hawkins, high arcing jumper. Blue Devils back out in front. Station, though, goes back to Moronis, and he's going to be good for another triple from almost the same spot. Bryan Station wins a nail-biter, 58-57 over Henry Clay. Good rivalry game at Lexington Catholic tonight, hosting Lafayette. Powell, he drives the lane for the one-handed layup. Then checking out here, getting back on defense. Lafayette up 44-36. The Knights pull within 7. Ben Johnson in the corner drives inside for the bucket. Later, Powell dishes to Devontae Haynes off the glass for 2. Generals lead 49-40, and Lafayette goes on to get the victory 74-58.
And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report, and we want to tell you about Roberts Insurance. They're out in Richmond, Kentucky. They're on Main Street. They've been there for 40 years. They insure 3/4 of this great state. Speaking of this great state, from Versailles, Kentucky, Woodford County, where there's more governors than anywhere else from Woodford County.
Yes, sir.
That's a little trivia there. But Coach, your team's 12-3. Why the good start this year for the Jackets?
Well, overall, we got a fairly young team with only 2 seniors on the roster. So I got to begin by saying, I've been blessed with some great assistant coaches last year and this year that have really developed our youth, and quite frankly, they're making me look like I know what I'm doing. At the same time, we've got great student athletes academically. I think our team GPA last year was somewhere around a 3.5 collectively as a program. Guys that just like to be around each other. They love the game of basketball. They get along on and off the court.
Yeah.
And so really when you start taking care of all those little things, the big things such as the wins and losses just kind of take care of themselves. Right. So just blessed with a bunch of great guys that are willing to work hard and like being around each other.
And what role do these three have on the team?
Well, Brandon, he's a junior guard. We really rely on him to score for us. I believe he's around somewhere about 18 points a game. Real smart athlete on the floor. Corey George, we kind of refer to him as our Swiss Army knife. There's nothing that we haven't asked him to do as far as scoring, rebounding, guarding the best player. He just does a little bit of everything for us. And then senior Nick Smith, really has stepped up as one of our go-to scorers. I believe he's right around 20 points a game as well. Really stepped up as one of our senior leaders.
Well, Brandon, as one of the leading scorers on the team, you maintain a 4.25 GPA, so congratulations for that. That's outstanding. How do you do all this?
I think focus is a big thing for me. being focused in the classroom, getting my schoolwork done, paying attention to when the teachers are teaching, and just getting in all that knowledge. And then when we go to a practice or a game, setting all that to the side and really focusing on the game and my skills and making the team better as well as myself better.
Mm-hmm. And Corey, what do you feel is your biggest asset to this team?
Probably rebounding and defense. I have like quick feet, I have strong chest. Coach is always pushing me to be top 10 rebounding in the state, so yeah.
Well, what are you averaging right now? Is he averaging double figures? Pretty close?
I think he's real close, right at on the edge of double digits in both categories. Yes, sir.
Nick, what is this team capable of, and why do you think they're capable of that?
I feel like we're willing to go as far as our minds let us. We're a very unselfish team, and we buy into what the coach is telling us pretty good. We're really close off the court and on the court.
That helps to have that team cohesiveness, doesn't it? And that chemistry, as you talked about, Coach.
Yes, sir.
And what do you see for this team?
I think the best part about this team is we're having a good season, but I don't hear the talk of the record. I hear a lot of talk of the growth, how much better they know they can be. And when you talk to them, again, it's not about wins and losses. They're talking about district championships, regional championships. I had a conversation the other day with several of them about, how awesome it'd be to go to state. And so I think collectively that's our goal, and that's what we're shooting for right now.
Well, Erlanger Lloyd grad Ryan Wilson is happy to say that. I'm from up in your part of the woods up there, Boone County. So congratulations for the great season. Keep it up, and we'll look forward to talking to you down the road.
Appreciate you having us.
That's the Woodford County Yellow Jackets and Ryan Wilson. Now we're going to this feature on Michaela Cecil. She's from Paul Lawrence Dunbar.
Early in her career, it was evident Michaela Cecil was going to be a special player.
She is a gym rat. She loves being in the gym. She'll text me about getting in the gym as early as she can. You just can't keep a kid like her out of the gym.
I grew up in a basketball family, so we're always around basketball. Played my whole life, so it's just we're just a basketball family. Always watching basketball, stuff like that, going to a game. So it's just I love it.
As a freshman, Cecil averaged a team best 10.5 points. Only to skyrocket to 19.8 points as a sophomore and another 18-point clip per game as a junior.
She can do just about anything on the court. She's an extension of the coaching staff.
Since I'm a senior, I think I have better shot selection, and I just, I want to get everybody involved, and so just being a team player is a big thing.
Entering her senior year, Michaela changed her body and her work ethic by running cross country.
It was just one day I was just like, all right, I want to get quicker, I want to get faster, work on my stamina and stuff like that.
She's in the best shape of her life, and she'll tell you that too. Cross country is no joke. They run a lot.
I did cross country, so I could, have to have that practice every day, and so stuff like that. So it really helped me a lot.
All of that has led to record-scoring production. Cecil is filling it up at 26 points a game, and at this pace will shatter the 2,000-point mark.
I think she has something a little extra to play for. She's got something to prove.
I love the game of basketball, and so I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one has to force it upon me. It's just something I want to do, and I love. So.
Welcome back into our most popular segment because it highlights students who are doing great things in the classroom. And in this case, it's Lafayette High School. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the show, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Will, what makes a good student athlete in your opinion?
To me, to be a good student athlete, you have to have focus. If you don't know where you are or what you're going to be doing in school or in the sport, you're not going to get far in either one.
And Mason, you keep good grades while wrestling. How are you able to juggle all of this?
Well, I studied before since we got like maybe an hour or so. I studied before, and then once I get home, I study a little bit after that, and then during school, I also do my homework then. So by the end of practice, I don't have much homework.
Kevin, what do you enjoy most about wrestling for Lafayette High School?
How competitive it is. There's something about losing to another person in such a physical sport that just keeps you going, and you don't want to lose, so it's very competitive.
And Coach Green, what are these athletes capable of?
These athletes are capable of everything. The sky's the limit for them. The only limit that they have is the limit that they put on themselves. They are good kids, good students, well respected, well-rounded, respected, trying. They go deep. So I have a lot of respect for these guys.
Will, how does wrestling prepare you for college and beyond that?
The main thing it helps you with, it gets you prepared for change. You never know what's going to be happening.
And Mason, and Kevin, what will you take from wrestling to help you in college?
The hard work. It's hard work. You just got to keep going and just keep going, and just the hard work never stops. And that's how life is going to be. It's never going to stop.
Right.
I learned a lot from wrestling because a failure, you fail sometimes and you just got to push through and keep going every week. And that's the same thing with college. You know, sometimes things, grades or class won't go your way. You got to keep pushing through.
Coach, we can see why these kids are going to go places, because they're well grounded. They're making good grades now, and you got to like their future, don't you?
I really do. I admire these guys, and like I said, they work hard, and it shows, Mr. Ball. It shows.
Well, as always, if you'll pass that down to your teammate there, we'll present you with a beautiful plaque from Crown Trophy. Take that over there. Ryan Tyson will personalize that for you with your name on it for no charge. Congratulations, but most importantly, you're doing a great job in the classroom. That's what will get you far in life. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the Lafayette wrestling team. Now we're going to the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
It is time for the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week. Eric Powell to Tiandre Newcomb of Lafayette. The Generals marching on in a win over Lexington Catholic on Tuesday night. Take a few more looks at it. Powell to Newcomb, and Newcomb goes baseline up and under the defender and off the glass for 2 points. I'm WKYT's Lee K. Howard, and that is your Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
And welcome back into UK Sports Medicine, our title sponsor on the show, and they have been ever since we started 15 years ago. You guys have just been on board with us, and we really appreciate the partnership with the Scholastic Ball Report in the UK.
We do as well. It's been a great partnership, and there's been a lot of positives that have come out of it for us.
We're going to talk about stretching. What's the importance of stretching?
You know, stretching is one of those things you always see kids do at the beginning of practice, and sometimes they just kind of go through the motions, and I have to stop them every once in a while and remind them why we stretch. Yeah. The importance of stretching is flexibility. You know, you want to be flexible, because if your muscles aren't working properly, it can cause you to have pain. A lot of times, kids that come into the training room with back pain, their hamstrings are really tight. They're not as flexible as they should be. And when we start to focus on their hamstrings or their lower body with flexibility, their back pain will go away. Or, you know, their back may hurt because their hip flexors, so in the front of their legs are super tight. And we focus on that. So we kind of teach kids that stretching one area may affect another area and help them. You know, it's kind of like the old song, like the thigh bone's connected to the knee bone. You know, things kind of interconnect and can affect things in other ways. Or the same with upper extremity sports, you know, like baseball pitchers. Sometimes if they're having problems, you know, pain in their elbow or pain with throwing, it's because one of their muscles is too tight, and we just have to work on stretching, and just doing little things can make a big difference. Yeah.
What type of stretches should be done?
Well, a lot of times you'll see teams before they warm up kind of doing like marching activities on the court before basketball games, or you may see them laying down and doing some stretching with some teammates. So there's a lot of different ways. The static stretching is what you think of that we've done for a lot of years, where you kind of sit down and reach and touch your toes and kind of hold it for 15 to 20 seconds. The dynamic stretching you see a lot of more recently, where they're doing like, you know, Frankenstein walks, or you'll see them kind of walking down the court and grabbing their foot and pulling it back, and so doing dynamic movement while they're stretching. I also teach my athletes how to do partner stretching, so how they can help each other stretch, which is super helpful to me because I can't necessarily help everybody, so they can work together and do that. So those are the basic ways that we have them stretch.
And when should you stretch?
Well, we always want to stretch before activity. What I recommend to my athletes is do a light warm-up, so kind of warm up those muscles, maybe jog a little bit, you know, do some layups for about 5 or 10 minutes, kind of shooting around, just giving basketball as the example, and then do your stretching so that your muscles are warmed, and so the stretching will have a better effect. But then I also tell people to stretch after activity, after practices. And then even if you've had a hard workout, you might want to stretch again when you get home at night
Mm-hmm.
before you go to bed, because some of that stretching may help with, the muscle soreness that you may feel the next day.
And even stretching in different sports. I mean, I
Right.
see the football team stretching different, and the basketball, baseball. I mean, there's different stretches for every sport depending
Right.
on what you use.
Exactly. There's a lot of general stretches. Pretty much every sport you use your lower body.
Yeah.
So stretching the front of your legs, your quads, your hip flexors, the back of your legs, your hamstrings, your calves. Sometimes you don't think of some sports stretching as much with their arms, but pitchers, quarterbacks, throwing sports, tennis, you definitely have to stretch your shoulders. So I will help, talk to some of my coaches, talk to some of my players, and give them some sport-specific stretches that they can be doing either on their own or with assistance.
Good stuff. Now we're all going to be well stretched.
Hopefully.
We're going to be well stretched, aren't we, Morgan?
I'm going to go home and
That was
stretch.
Jenny Williams from UK. There's a website and a phone number. Just give them a call there at UK Sports Medicine, the walk-in clinic every day, Monday through Friday. Let's go to these final highlights now, brought to you by PrepSpin.com, the leading digital network in the state of Kentucky.
And welcome back to Game Time. It's time to feature the ladies, beginning with a matchup in the city between Tates Creek and Lexington Catholic.
Yeah, Lex Cath averaging a little more than 50 points a game in their 8 wins this season. Let's see what they did tonight. First 2
meetings of the season between these two teams.
Yeah, it is, and the Lady Knights know what to do. When I showed up, I just turned on the camera and made a little given. It's a 3, and it's given. She would have a dozen. On the offensive rebound, Shyla Livers gets those long arms and hands on the ball, puts it in, and the foul. Then the very next time down to court, basically the same thing. She gets the rebound. Nobody's going to guard me? Fine, I'll hit the 17-footer. She had 8 points, but Catholic took over after the first period. Jay Ballard, that just sounds like a athlete's name. Jay Ballard for 3. Catholic, no trouble. 68-35 is the final.
All right, Franklin County, Western Hills, the first family of girls basketball in Frankfort, the Moravchiks. Dad Greg watching his oldest daughter, Montana, who plays for Western Hills, take on youngest daughter, Jalen, who plays for Franklin County. And get this, son Brandon, he is the Western Hills coach. Second quarter, off the Franklin County miss, the offensive rebound, and it's Kendall Talley down the lane for the bucket, off the glass, Flyers up 30-7. At the other end, Alexis True spots up at the top of the circle. She knocks down the triple. And Jalen Moravchik and the Flyers, they get the win tonight, 56-23.
Somebody's going home a winner in that family. Staying in the capital city for Woodford County and Frankfort. Third quarter, Woodford County on the run. That ends up on the wing. Abby Hudson, good ball movement. Wide open, hits the 3, just like you're supposed to. Jack gets up a baker's dozen. At the other end, off the block shot, Frankfurt's Grace Yoakum gets her hands on it, puts it back up and in. Woodford County gets the victory, 46-34.
We go back to Winchester for the defending 10th region champs. Clark County hosting Bourbon County. Lady Cards, well, adding to their lead in the third quarter, let's say. Chloe Treese bombs the tray. The lead was comfortable. Bourbon County not giving up, though. Off the steal, Lindsey Johnson all alone for the lefty lay-in. But Clark County was on a different level tonight. Kaylin Davis takes the pass and knocks in the bucket plus the foul. 71-22, all Clark County in this one.
Welcome back into the wrap as we wrap things up on the Scholastic Ball Report here in January. And you know, high school basketball is just special. You played at Dunbar. There's so many rivalries within that district.
Oh, I mean, every time we'd play a team in just around our city, it was a rivalry. We'd have a student section and everything. It's so competitive. And playing AAU with some people, too, it was always fun to play against your friends at other schools.
Right. You know, you got Lafayette, you got Dunbar where you played, Tates Creek. You've got Lexington Christian, Lexington Catholic. So when that district takes place this year at LCA, I believe it is, that district's loaded.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be going to some of those games. It's always fun to see rivalry schools go at it, especially when it comes down to maybe someone's final game.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to pick a top 10 this year. I mean, we used to have a top 10, but I wouldn't want to pick that. As always, on the Scholastic Ball Report, for those you see and those you don't see.
Keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Raising Cane's, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.